Squad Pod. Squad Pod.
Hey everybody, welcome to Squad Pod Sports, where you bring you our thoughts on the latest games and news around the sports world. We've got a special guest, the first returning guest to Squad Pod Sports, Alex Dowling from TapThat Reviews, and of course Squad Pod Podcast. Thanks for joining us, man.
Thank you. Thanks for letting me join you. I'm not banned. The ban is
Yeah,
double lifted.
Yeah, you haven't been banned.
Ban has been listed.
I really.
Now,
You
you
were banned
gotta
for a while. But the Steelers, we'll talk about your Steelers. Of course, we're definitely going to talk about your Nets because they're on fire, looking for a nice, strong playoff push here. But I mean, first, we'll kind of talk about the NFL. Of course, the draft is Thursday night.
Yeah.
Make sure to check out our pretty much live podcast, live stream of the draft. And
We'll do the
Alex.
whole first round.
Yeah, I think we're going to do a joint episode, which might be a little bit of an undertaking for us. I've never done anything live. We've
only done
anything
one.
joint.
The Super Bowl episode, Super Bowl live stream. But we're definitely looking to do a draft live stream, at least for the first round.
We'll get
So
it
make
figured
sure.
out.
You guys are going to play the drinking game with me, right?
Oh,
I didn't know about the drinking game.
I
no.
didn't know about the drinking game.
You want to play the drinking game with me? That's why TapThat's streaming it.
I do have to work.
Is there like a ton of rules?
No. I'm going to simplify. You'd guess the next pick. If you don't get it right, you drink.
Okay.
That's it.
Oh man, whoa.
I ain't trying to get hammered. I work also the next day.
Okay.
You just guess the next pick, and if you don't get it right, you drink.
Okay.
That's all me and Storm are doing. Maybe I'll come up with more rules.
Very interesting. I do like that.
But speaking of the NFL, we'll talk about some news in the NFL. We'll do like a little bit of a mock draft here in the middle of the podcast. So we'll do that. That'll be interesting. And then, of course, Vern's NBA Hot and Nots this week. And then just a little bit of NHL news. And then we'll head into the bias bubble and the crazy sports stat fact of the podcast.
I'll never get over that name, bro.
That's
Crazy
the
sports
name.
stat fact of the podcast.
That's the name. The first bit of news I have out of the NFL is the Browns exercised the fifth-year option of Baker Mayfield.
Damn, he's on his fifth year?
I
Sticking around.
exercised his fifth year. I think his fifth year is next year. I think this is
he's on his fourth year, man. Whew.
right.
Baker's been around for a little bit, man. He's already had his ebbs and flows too of like, oh, is he good enough? Oh, was he on a good trajectory upwards? Like, so people still don't know what you're getting out of Baker, but you know pretty much what his floor is.
Yeah, and I mean they keep getting better every year, and they might as well exercise that fifth year so they can pay him that cheap money at least another year until they have to throw the bag at him. They're like, who knows what's going to happen there? But I mean, that's within your division there, Alex. How you feel about Baker Mayfield sticking around?
Unfortunately, he's in too tough of a division. Baker Mayfield never wins a playoff or never wins a Super Bowl with the.
It is a pretty tough division you guys have.
Ask me this question in a year, though. I think this year is another year just like it was with the, and we're not getting into it, but the Steelers are going to do what the Steelers do, but I don't expect high hopes from them, but we'll see. But it depending on if they get a future quarterback or not, well, I'll talk to me again next year at the same time, and I'll say how I feel about Baker Mayfield. Because it's either hey, he's stuck in a bad division with the Ravens and Steelers, or hey, he is the second best team in the division with the Ravens.
Yeah.
So and the Ravens might go downhill too. They lost a bunch of pieces.
Even though it's the Bungles, I know they're terrible, but they can stick around, win 7, 8, 9 games in any given year if they're good enough. As far as with Joe Burrow,
They
Joe Burrow is a great quarterback.
Someone to build around. It's just the question.
I don't think they'll be a huge contender in your division, but there's someone that can give you guys some losses here and there, like all three of you.
They're not a threat now. They're a threat 3-4 years from now.
Right.
100%. Yeah. When they're when you have this conversation with me and they're like, Joe Burrow's got signed for an extension, then I'm going to be like,
shit. And they got Baker coming up on his third deal or something.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, like, get these Heisman win. Roethlisberger's still the only non-winning Heisman quarterback in that division.
Damn.
Still, we need a Heisman winner. Who won the Heisman this year? I want him.
Devontae Smith.
Nope, don't want him.
Not a quarterback. I want Devontae Smith.
I want Devontae. There's rumors that he could, with all this BS that's been happening, there's rumors of him falling to the Patriots too, and I'm just like,
There's rumors.
It's
of
gonna be
everything.
QB. I'm
Yeah.
gonna put that out right now.
Alex, that's your bold statement. I'm writing it down. Put it on the board. What'd you say? You said
QB. The only one I don't
QB.
know is third. It's gonna be fucking huh?
Fran at 3.
Yep, Trevor Lawrence is first. Then it's gonna be the kid from BYU, Zach Wilson, and then it's either gonna be Mac Jones or
Who? Mac Jones.
what's his name?
Justin Fields.
Justin
Or,
Fields.
Justin Field.
Trey Lance.
No, who's the dude from Alabama?
Mac Jones.
I said Mac Jones. I said Mac Jones.
I know we were just saying who.
Oh,
Mac
Like
Jones.
Mike Jones.
it's Mac Jones.
Mac Jones.
Yo, we have a board over here where we put bold ass predictions, even though that's probably one of the least bold predictions to
Yeah,
go
I
on
don't-
this board.
Yeah, I
That's
think
not
that's
that bold.
expected.
It's kind of
That's three
expected.
QBs coming.
You know
in.
what? I'm tearing that up. That's not that bold. Get it out of here. But on the board here, I have me and Wyatt agreed a couple weeks and weeks ago. Arizona will win the NFC West next year. We claimed it. Okay. Wyatt claimed Phoenix will have the 1 seed in the West, but he claimed that shit weeks ago. Weeks ago. Okay, so that's looking like a damn good prediction. And I said, it's probably like a homer prediction, but I said Justin Fields will be the best rookie quarterback this year. I claimed that. I put it on the board. And so but that 3 quarterbacks off the board thing, I guess that's not bold enough. You guys are right. I'm sorry.
That's not that bold.
I did have some we were talking about the Ravens a little bit there. I do have some news involving them. Kansas City traded their first round pick for Thursday night, along with 3 other picks in 2021 and 2022 to the Ravens in exchange for Pro Bowl offensive tackle Orlando Brown.
Which
That's
is a great
huge.
move for both teams.
Yeah,
That's
huge. I mean, Kansas City knew that their O-line was an issue, and they solved it this offseason.
They did. And
I'll
they
give
know
Orlando
their
Brown won it
window-
out too.
Right.
Yeah.
He was done.
Kansas City's window isn't like it's closing or nothing, but this
No.
is really their genuine time to win the most Super Bowls possible. So why not try that? Why not trade a couple of these future picks and you got build around what you have now with
Kansas
And I mean-
City doesn't need any like power positions. They can get offensive linemen in the second round and be fine. Offensive linemen in the second round are completely fine,
get depth pieces.
Yeah, get depth pieces. All they need is depth. They have the superstars. They have running backs, quarterbacks, wide receivers, tight ends. Like they got them all. They're good.
Mhm.
Good move on both parts.
Their offensive line has now Orlando Brown, Joe Thuney, Kyle Long, and Austin Blythe. And not
Crazy.
to mention the return of Laurent Duvernay Tardif.
Yep.
Is his name.
Bernie Tardif. I don't know who the hell that guy is, to be honest.
I mean, their O-line is stacked now, so hopefully they can protect old Patty Mahomes back there. He's not running for his life.
Get them some
Looking
defense,
like
man.
Russell Wilson out there. And this was a pretty interesting. It's not really news, but with the whole changing numbers that's out there now, apparently the thing is that if a player that wants to change their number, they have to buy all of their jerseys pretty much that are out there.
Mhm.
Apparently Dalvin Cook was interested in changing his number, and they gave him that. They said he would have to pay around 1.5 million for the
fucking ridiculous.
to buy all the stock of his jerseys just to change his number. So he's like, "Nah, I'm good." He's gonna change it from 30 to 4, and he was gonna be number 4. But he said, "Nah, I'm good. I don't want to pay 1.5 mil to change my."
This is more of a rule change for future players. Now they can wear different numbers in the future instead of,
Ridiculous.
Yeah, and I mean, I looked. There was a little bit of like a fact with it. Apparently, when Kobe changed his jersey number, he had to buy his inventory of jerseys as well. And I was like, that's pretty crazy. I didn't know that.
Did KD because he got? You think it had the same thing when like they get traded or anything?
I think if you go to a different team,
All right.
you can actually change it because it's a whole new jersey and everything.
Because
Probably
you-
why this even exists.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
You
know
can
what I mean?
find KD jerseys that say 35 for the Brooklyn Nets. Like I know he's not 35, but they already produced them before he like made his number clear. They were like, "Nah, these are good." So you can find them. I find them on sites all the time. I'm like, "Hey, that's a 35 jersey." Didn't wear that number, but
Yeah, you can change your number. I don't know how it affects like if somebody comes to a team and they pay somebody to get their number and they switch. I don't know how that affects it. Like maybe if the guy's not big enough, it doesn't matter. Where they don't have a ton of jerseys out there they need to sell.
Sitting in a warehouse.
Yeah, But I thought that was pretty wild, man. Like
That is
1.5
pretty
mil
wild.
just to change your number. Adrian Peterson apparently says he wants to keep playing, and he's looking for a team that's built to go and chase a championship. Of course.
Come to the Steelers. I'll take him.
I mean, you guys need a running back.
We need a running back.
Need a running
Good veteran presence. Take him.
back. Another big bit of news that came out over the past couple of days. Apparently, the Falcons are listening to trade offers for Julio Jones. So, and it's
Right,
looking
that's crazy.
more by the day that Julio's out.
Yeah.
But why?
Where do you think he could go?
I don't even know,
I do
man.
have, as of today, there was 2 teams linked to him, and they are the Raiders and the Ravens.
Ooh, please go to the Ravens.
I
Please
don't
go to
even
the
know.
Ravens. Because
Julio is great, but he
I'd
can't stay
rather
healthy
see him on the
anymore.
Ravens and the Raiders.
they would need that like threat like that. Imagine that just takes a whole nother factor away from eyes on Lamar. You know what I mean? Like that would be great for the Ravens.
Lamar can't throw deep enough to get to Julio. Give him
Yes,
Derek
he
Carr.
can. Fuck you mean?
He's a running back. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh, boy. Apparently, the 49ers have narrowed down their number 3 pick to Mac Jones or Trey Lance. So one of those two.
Ah, man, it's gonna be
The
Justin
question is,
Fields.
what's going on with Jimmy G? Is he going to stick around, or are they going to end up trading him?
You better stick the fuck around.
He's getting outskis, man.
Maybe play for a year and like teach young bull how to develop a little bit, and then
They don't do that anymore, man. You get picked in the top 10 quarterbacks, you play. It's Wentz changed it, man. You
What
a
about
young
Tua?
quarterback. He played,
Barely. They kept
He-
pulling his ass for fits.
but he played. They put him out there. They said you played. Even when they had playoff chances, he played. When they were still in the playoff hunt, they're like, Tua's our guy. You play.
Yeah, and as soon as he started like playing bad a little bit, old Fitzy coming in. Yeah, I mean they're definitely rolling with him this year because I mean Fitzy's in Washington now, and I don't know who they have as a backup there. Maybe no one. They should probably get somebody if they don't have anybody. 'Cause who knows what that
He ain't
probably-
making it the whole
that
season.
leg's like? Who knows?
Tua ain't making it the whole year.
Another little bit of draft news. Apparently, the Chargers posted and deleted a post on Twitter, and it was like a made graphic by them that they traded with the Giants for the number 11 pick in the draft. So apparently, the Chargers would get the number 11 pick in the first round, and the Giants would get the 13th pick and the 77th pick.
Bro, the Chargers ain't learned a lesson with them Giants yet. Stop fucking with them Giants.
But they
Yeah,
posted
right.
and then quickly deleted it. But you know how the internet is. You
Nothing's
post it,
deleted.
somebody has that shit saved already.
Why would they do that though? Who are they worried about losing between 11 and 13? You
I
know?
don't know.
To the Eagles.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
depends what you get with it.
Or the Giants. Like,
Maybe
you
they're
know,
just trying to get that as capital and like trade with somebody else and get more.
Yeah.
I feel better if they switch. I'd rather have the Chargers there than the damn Giants or the Cowboys.
Yeah, but the Chargers don't need like a quarterback, so I could see them picking like a Devontae Smith or
Yeah, they're gonna take a wide receiver. Or,
Yeah.
that's what they're gonna take for sure.
True.
that's what I mean. Like that move's got me thinking they got their eyes on a wide
I
receiver.
mean, after that, there hasn't been any official news. I haven't seen anything about it since then. So, I mean, maybe they're just waiting to save it for draft night, I'm guessing. I'm sure there's a lot of moves that have been kind of kept in, until draft night. Like, who knows what the whole Jordan Love thing that we talked
I
about
hope
last.
that's just like some BS. I don't want.
I hope they trade him.
Yeah.
I would hate that. I'd be like,
No.
no, use the 15th. Oh my god.
I like Jordan Love, man.
I just don't know what he looks like, man.
Nah, he looked. I mean, back in the day, he was. What'd he go? 15, you said?
No, that's what our pick is.
No, and I'm saying like, what did he go last year?
I know the Packers traded up
First
for him.
round. It was a first round pick.
Yeah.
He
Don't
was
know.
a first round QB, man.
Don't
It's a
care.
waste first round, man. They just gonna get him, use a first round to scoop him, and then trade him away the next year. That's dumb for the Packers. But
That's what
oh
they get.
well, they pissed old Aaron off.
Yeah. He got a fire into his ass.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
He balled out.
Cowboys linebacker Sean Lee retired after 11 seasons.
Congratulations.
Congratulations on your career, I guess. You a
I
Cowboy.
guess.
No, I like Sean.
We gave props to Edelman and Alex Smith, so I guess we'll say something about the Cowboys.
Sean Lee.
He was a beast, though,
He was a beast.
Yeah, he was. Not gonna lie.
when he was healthy.
The Chicago Bears have the least amount of cap space in the NFL with 410,000.
Surprising.
So like as of right now, they don't really have any money to even sign their draft picks.
They pay in fucking
Jesus.
defense, man.
Don't even have enough money to sign their draft picks. That's pretty funny.
The Dolphins and the Washington football team reached an agreement on trade to send guard Eric Flowers to Washington, involving a swap of late round picks. Frees up some money from Miami while giving Washington an O-line to compete to start. Offensive lineman.
Okay.
Kyle Shanahan answered if Jimmy G will be on the roster come Sunday. He said, I can't guarantee that anybody in the world will be alive Sunday, so I can't guarantee who will be on our roster on Sunday.
Oh, God. That's not good. That's not
That's
good.
awesome answer.
That's the exact quote.
That's an awesome
so
answer.
bad. Jimmy
Oh,
G's a
man.
goner.
Jimmy G's
because-
gonna have a good career somewhere else.
Think about it. They said Jared Goff is a Ram, and then they traded him. This guy wasn't even guaranteed that Jimmy G was still a 49er. He's
So maybe-
gone,
Maybe
man.
he will, maybe he won't. I
I
don't
don't
know.
even know if anybody's going to be alive. Also, like, what does this dude know? Oh, my God.
Keeping their cards so close to the chest right now. A bit of Steelers news. Alex, I'm sure you heard of this. You guys exercised the 5th-year option for safety Minka Fitzpatrick.
He did, yep.
It's
Good pick.
like, yeah, that's a great pickup, man.
One of the best free safeties in the league.
Absolutely, I agree. He's great. The next thing, the thing you're gonna have to worry about is then signing him to that next deal. Maybe he wants a ton of money.
Oh, hopefully Roethlisberger's off the books by then. That'll clear up like 20% of our cap space, dude.
Jaguars coach Urban Meyer said that he's narrowed the number 1 pick down to Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, or Justin Fields.
I told you this last week.
We did talk about like how crazy would it be if you took Justin Fields with the
I
number
said
1.
I'm not 100% sold on him even taking Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence,
first.
man.
I'm not even sold. Like, Trevor Lawrence is the next Peyton Manning type, whatever the fuck he is, you know what I mean? But, like, I wasn't sold. I was just saying, like, just in my brain, I was stewing with it. I'm like, Urban Meyer,
Urban Meyers ain't got
Justin Fields.
that kind of pull yet.
We'll see. Man. He's Urban Meyer.
Nah, no way.
Yeah, I mean they're probably in the biggest position that the biggest draft they've been in a while.
Yeah.
Like this is the for the face of the future. This is the future of the franchise for this draft. You need to make this pick correct. Like
Yeah. And Trevor
but they've been
Lawrence.
in this position before, and they pick people like Blaine Gabbert.
that's true. That's true.
So watch
That is
them
very-
go ahead and select Zach Wilson or some shit, who I think is gonna be good, but like they're gonna not pick either of them, or Trey Lance. It's gonna
Yeah.
be Mac Jones, number 1 overall.
No, what?
I mean,
Trevor Lawrence is like clearly the best. I mean, just
I
like
know. We're just saying like their
Yeah.
history precedes them.
well, one thing you gotta think about is
Jets
they
would
can
go
all
crazy.
be great, but you take them to a team that has a bad system or they can't develop people, they're all gonna look bad. Like they can all
Exactly.
be great. So who knows?
Listen, Sam
Exactly.
Darnold, as soon as he gets out of New York, is going to be a good quarterback somewhere.
I think
he
he'll be all right
he
on-
just
on
needs a
Thursday.
team. No, I'm not saying he's gonna be top 5 or anything. He'll be a good quarterback somewhere.
think
New York
better-
is abysmal.
On the Jets.
Yeah.
I think they'll treat him well there
We'll
with all
see what
Matt.
happens.
But speaking of the Panthers, old Teddy time went to Denver today.
Mm-hmm.
The Panthers traded Teddy Bridgewater to the Broncos for a 6th-round pick. So
Does
it's
not
Teddy
too
start
bad.
next year?
That's pretty cheap. That's crazy.
yeah, really cheap. I was expecting it to be more. I don't know, man. I could see him starting. Like honestly,
I don't
Like, why-
know if I can think of another team that's had more quarterback rotation than the Denver Broncos in the last, like, what,
Oh,
4
yeah.
years? It's been like a new starting quarterback every year for
Every
like 4 or
year.
5 years.
it was like
It was
they
like Simeon
have
and
someone
fucking-
for a year, and then they're like, you know what, this guy just doesn't fit.
They haven't been great since Peyton.
Yeah, I think every year since Peyton, and this might not be a real stat, but I'm pretty sure every year since Peyton, a new quarterback has started for them.
I wonder who's had the most quarterbacks since then, and like if they're, you know what I mean, since Peyton retired specifically. I know it's a LeBron James type stat, but like it'd be interesting to bring that up next week. Like I'll look it up or something and bring it to the pod next week. But like, how many quarterbacks? Who had the most quarterbacks since Peyton Manning retired? And if the Broncos are number one on that list, man, I feel bad for Cody.
Either Broncos, Browns.
The Browns
they've had Baker now for 4.
They have Baker now, but I mean, then like before Baker, they were having one like every other year,
right?
Or every year.
See, that's what I was thinking. I was gonna say the Browns, but if I'm thinking
Redskins?
only since Peyton,
It was like the Eagles
maybe the
before
Redskins.
Carson Wentz. Like they just had a ton of quarterbacks.
Yeah, but even still, I think the Broncos.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree.
The Broncos have had different starters within the year, you know, like they've been like switched with, and not even because of injuries, just because
they had a dude that never played quarterback ever play this past season.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a special one, but yeah. I mean, if we count him, there's gotta be.
I forgot about that, bro. They had every single one of their quarterbacks was ineligible to play. Like that shit is crazy.
But a note about this is the Panthers trade for a QB, but they may still draft one at 8. Then they trade a QB to the Broncos, who may still draft one at 9. So I mean, both teams could still draft, or like rumored to be drafted.
Who's there?
Yeah.
So yeah. So who knows, man?
If you're one of those teams and Fields is sitting there,
I don't know why the Panthers would try to draft a QB now, especially they just traded for Sam Darnold, who's like 24, maybe 20.
Because they don't trust him.
And if he doesn't do well this well,
I don't remember what they gave up for him either, but still.
He's also a pick right now that like is going to cost a fortune to pick up on that 5th-year option. You have to remember he's like a 3rd pick, 4th pick, whatever he was back in the day. Like his 5th-year option is a fortune, and if he doesn't show this year, then you got your plan right there. Like get out.
Exactly.
So
it's just, do they want to risk a 1st-round pick on scooping a QB just like to see who they stick it out with? You know, I don't know.
Do the love thing, man. Trade him too. But there is a team that needs a QB every year. It is an inevitability.
Yeah,
somebody will need a QB. You can trade.
Shit.
NFL news have here. It just happened like right before we got on. Apparently, the Giants picked up the 5th-year option on Saquon Barkley.
Nice.
So he's going to be coming off. I think it's an ACL tear. It happened.
Can he stay on the field?
Week 2 of last year. He's been out since week 2.
I hope he does, man. He's such a beast.
He is a beast. He just needs to stay healthy.
Agreed. But that's all the NFL news I have. I do have one more here. The bottom 5 rosters in the NFL ahead of the draft by PFF. The dead last ranked roster is the Detroit Lions. Then you got the Texans, the Jaguars, the Panthers, and then the Raiders.
So the Texans, weeks ago, we've talked about all these acquisitions they've made.
Yeah.
All these acquisitions they've made.
Probably with acquisitions out of any other team in free agency.
Any other team. And they're still the 2nd worst roster. Oh, my God.
Going into the draft.
Yo, you forgot Antonio signed with the Bucks.
Oh, yeah, I did.
We have been talking about it over the past couple of weeks that they were rumored to sign, but yes, good job, Alex.
Tony signed with the Bucks.
Officially has signed with the Bucks. I think it was like a $3.8 million deal.
Yeah.
It was really cheap.
Another 1-year deal.
But that cements they brought everybody back from last season and added, I think, a piece or two. But they brought everybody back from last season. They're going to run it back, try to get Tom Brady his 8th ring.
Got the Gronkowski jersey this week out here, you know what I mean? God. No specific reason.
Who you guys want 1st round?
Yeah, let's talk about that first. Is like who do you want and who you expect to be picked probably by your team at least.
All right, so if we stay at 15, probably gonna have to just like roll with a best at position type, you know what I mean? I have written down here a guy named Christian Dershaw, okay, offensive tackle. I know it's not pretty, but like that would be great for our O-line. You know, he's and especially like we got pieces leaving like Isaiah Wynn, Trent Brown, who we just signed on a 1-year deal. So there's people that are expiring in that position. That would be a pretty solid, smart pick to make at 15 if we don't trade up.
Yeah.
If we trade up, I'm trying to go sky's the limit type of shit. Like, and I know Bill Belichick's not usually going to do this type of shit, but I would love to trade up to at least 4, which is completely unrealistic. I think maybe 7, 8, 9 range is a more like feasible option for the Patriots to trade up. If not, maybe 10. But like, if we do 10, I know Dallas has that pick. There's man, it's wishful thinking, but if any of them quarterbacks are still available at 10, I would take any of them. Justin Fields, Trey Lance, Mac Jones, any of them. Even though Mac Jones is the one I want the least, any of them quarterbacks, if they're all gone, let me get a Jamar Chase or Jalen Waddle, any of them top tier wide receivers. Obviously, everybody wants to see the flashy players go to their team. So that's just my wish list if we do trade up. But
yeah. What about you, Alex? Who you hoping the Steelers are gonna pick?
Najee Harris. That's all I want. Running back.
That's all you
from
want?
Alabama. Najee Harris.
That's what they do produce is running backs. They don't produce quarterbacks. Is why I don't trust Mac Jones. But I'll take him if he's there.
Give me Najee Harris. Give me any running back is what I hope they take. Realistically, they'll probably take an offensive tackle also.
Guys probably need one.
If we're going sky's the limit here, if it's happening, and they trade up, and which they did. They traded up to 10 last year for 2 years ago for Devin Bush. They traded up to 10 with the Broncos. So I mean, they do it sometimes. I think they needed some like cornerback help because we just let go of Steven Nelson. So get whatever the top cornerback is, whoever that is. But yeah, I don't think a QB is not needed at the moment. Roethlisberger is going to start next year, regardless. The Dwayne Haskins picks is a kind of a high ceiling, low risk kind of pick. Not that I think Dwayne Haskins will be the future, but again, he's a top 15 quarterback that got picked up. Maybe.
He reminds me of Demarcus Russell.
Sure. Listen.
Like you give him a playbook and he tells you he watched the blitz packages, but he didn't watch shit.
Listen, maybe
eating Cheetos.
He might be in the wrong situation. Like it's not like Washington's ever been a great organization to produce any player, you know. So maybe he wasn't. So we don't need one now. We got a young quarterback that maybe is a question mark, which is all we're going to get at pick 24 anyways, you know. It's just going to be a young quarterback that's a maybe. We're not getting, Justin Fields or anything like that. It's not going to happen. Even Mac Jones is probably out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah.
So we don't need a quarterback. We can worry about that next year. Just get a quarterback next year. Start him off young. Screw it. So Najee Harris or that kid from Clemson, whoever that Williamson. The kid from Clemson, dope too.
I don't know his name. I don't know if I've seen him yet.
Yeah, it's either gonna be one of them.
Man, who I think we're probably gonna end up scooping. It's looking like J.C. Horn possibly at 12, depending on who's there, because we need a cornerback. Also heard a lot of news that we were looking at Jalen Waddle too, so maybe if he's still there. So I'm figuring that Philly's either going to go wide receiver or cornerback. Regardless, it's looking like that. Who I hope we get, Devontae Smith. Absolutely. Right. If he's there or if we trade up, which apparently Howie's really looking into trading up again, get Devontae Smith.
Doesn't he just trade down?
Yes, but it's not gonna cost as much to trade back up
to
get to the 8th pick.
All right.
But Devontae Smith, J.C. Horn, Jalen Waddle. I'm also hoping maybe Patrick Surtain, or I really would like actually Asante Samuel Jr. too, just because Asante Samuel played for the Eagles. Also,
Patriot.
He's Eagle, and then he went to the Patriots. But yeah, I mean, all those players look great. I mean, it's going to be hard to botch the 12th pick or if you move up, but I mean, I'm not ruling anything out for Howie Roseman. He could still fuck this pick up. So I mean, I'm very nervous, but I'm excited for the draft tomorrow.
Super excited, man. Me too.
Okay, we got some breaking news here. Apparently the Patriots are currently working on a restructured contract for Jimmy Garoppolo, and it's looking like he's heading back to New England in a trade. This is just what I'm getting here from my source.
No Woj. This isn't a Woj source.
But it's looking like, I was checking Twitter a little bit. I am seeing some things on Twitter, but it's all reports as of right now. I mean, the official news could come out here on draft night.
Man, I wonder what it's going to take to get it.
You don't like that, Werner?
What's it going to take to get him?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and we'll see what it costs. We'll
I'd
put
say
it at that.
feasibly he's worth like a third or fourth this year, and some future picks. So he ain't worth your first. He can't be given
Okay,
like
this
50.
it's
Use that
from
first.
it's from an actual source though, like on Twitter. It is an official source, has a check mark. By a reliable source, Patriots are working on a new contract for Jimmy G that could lead to a deal with the 49ers. Same source who correctly told him that Tom Brady signed with the Buccaneers.
Okay, well, like I said, let's see what it costs. Then
The last thing he says here, it doesn't mean it will get done, but they're working on it.
All right, well, we'll see what happens come draft day.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens.
Would you rather a Trey Lance, or would you rather?
Yes.
Yeah, you'd rather an unknown.
I would rather an unknown that's not already through X amount of injuries and all this. Let me get Trey Lance. That's 100% what I would rather have.
I think Belichick's such a good coach. I think he'd turn that shit around. He's better than Shanahan. He'll turn that shit around.
But it doesn't matter if your quarterback isn't on the field. You know what I mean?
Your guys' O-line is better. I mean, I'm just assuming that. I don't know. No?
Yeah, it's fine. But Jimmy G take a hit or two and he's done.
Yeah,
That's
he's
what
done
I'm
for
worried
the year.
about.
That was Brady too, though,
It
man.
wasn't Brady. Brady missed
Don't take
one
hits.
season.
You don't take
He
hits.
missed, but did he miss games?
No. I'm not saying Brady's
Exactly.
injuries prone. I'm saying
That's what
Belichick
I'm
knows
saying.
how
He
to build a
didn't
line.
miss games, and Garoppolo does. Like regardless, even whenever he was filling in time for Brady, he got hurt, and Jacoby Brissett had to come in. He couldn't even
I
get
do remember
through
that.
4 games
I
while
remember
Brady
that.
was gone. I don't want Jimmy Garoppolo here if there's another quarterback, a young,
Available.
fresh
That you could
quarterback
skip.
available.
A
Why
fresh
in the
quarterback
world
who
would
can
I-
beat his knees
It's
up.
like might as well have Cam Newton at that point. Like I'm trying to get him out of town too. To be honest with you, I love Cam Newton. Get out of here! I'm trying to get some young gun. You got all these injuries, man. Like, come on now.
Yeah, I mean, that is a little curious. I mean, I know that Bill Belichick loved Jimmy Garoppolo too, but if you're rebuilding, it's only in the best interest of the team going forward to just scoop someone.
He did love Jimmy Garoppolo. He loved him more than Tom.
Apparently, that's what the sources say.
It
That's
hurt
what
him
all
to
the
leave.
stories coming out are saying, that he wanted to have Jimmy over Tom.
He did
Like a
like him
son
more
to
than
me.
Tom.
Um,
He's like a son.
He's
but-
like a son I never had.
that was the breaking news that I saw. I had to share that. But we can roll into your NBA hot and nots this week, Fern.
Let's just start it off here.
Yeah, the last month of the NBA going forward.
Got Indianapolis.
Hot.
Hot.
Wait, do I not vote? I'm sorry.
Oh no, you can hot. That's fine, man. That's completely fine.
Hot.
I'll give you the answer right after. Hot.
Karis LeVert, man. Baller.
They're hot right now on a 3-game winning streak as of writing this. Okay, 6-4 over the last 10. They're 9th in the East, so they're kind of they're jockeying. They're trying to be in position for that play-in to be able to actually do something here. Okay.
Yeah.
So you brought up an interesting dynamic here, Alex. I'm just gonna say these names randomly now because I usually just roll through them hot.
He
and then
does.
not.
We should start that going forward.
Yeah, you know what? Let me get a pencil across the. Okay.
Sorry.
All right. Here, next one. Portland.
Not. Chokers.
What?
Not. 5-game losing streak. Slipping, falling, can't get up.
Get up.
I don't know what's going on with them
Great
right
superstars can't win.
We're
Can't win.
just on the inside of the play-in tournament too.
now.
Yep.
7th in the West right now. They are 2-8 over the last 10 games. It's not looking good. Okay. Next up, Washington.
Oh, they're hot.
Hot.
On a
They're
win
on a
streak.
one-game losing streak. Okay, but listen, I put them on the hot list because they are 8-2 over the last 10 games. They're rolling. They are 10th in the East, so they're still in position for that play-in as well. They're trying to at least. So
Yeah,
I like
Came
what I'm seeing.
back from worst in the East. They were the worst team in the NBA.
Yeah.
They're 8th in the East right now.
With Bradley Beal being the best player in the NBA during that period, you know. So it was,
It's crazy times
Yeah.
for
Weird.
Washington.
all right, San Antonio,
Hot.
hot. They're hot right now. 3-game winning streak. 7-3 over the last 10. They are still 10th in the West. Not looking great for them playoff wise. They might make that play-in tournament, but
Yeah.
they're at least pushing. They're pushing right now. Okay.
Yeah, they're on the 9th seed. Golden State got 10.
Houston. This should be an easy enough one.
Yeah,
Not.
not.
This will be nice and short. 4-game losing streak, 1-9 over the last 10. Houston is playing for next year. They're the only team on this list that is eliminated from the playoffs. Okay.
Mm.
Cleveland.
not having fucking baby fits on the side of the court.
Did
man.
you see that
Kevin Love throwing the ball in and just
throwing a fit?
I was like, is that the same Kevin? Like Kevin Love is done. He checked out months ago.
Already apologized for it though.
I did see he apologized. Yeah, but man, that was a bad look.
Bad. It was bad, man. We
Very
got
bad look.
New York Knicks.
Oh, hot as shit. Fire.
They were on a one-game. On fire. They were on a one-game losing streak when I wrote this here, but they're 9-1 over the last 10 games, up to fourth in the East right now, bro.
Well, Derrick Rose out here balling, dude.
Julius Randle, bro.
Randle balling. Somehow Todd is balling too.
Todd Thibodeau, owner of the Dimsdale Thibodeau.
Is a good coach, apparently.
He is
looking nice, man.
Who'd have guessed?
Then Clippers.
Hot.
Okay. They're on a one-game losing streak as well, but they're 8-2, holding that second seed in the West right now. Okay. And then I'm just wrote through the last one is not okay. The last two, sorry. OKC, 14-game losing streak, just falling, just tanking right now. Okay.
Damn.
Orlando, 6-game losing streak, 1-9. So both of them teams, they checked out a while ago. They were 1-2 on my not list this week, but that's all I got.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
In NBA news, I do have the San Antonio Spurs win on Thursday night. Houston Rockets and Minnesota Timberwolves are now eliminated from playoffs.
Okay, so it adds Minnesota in there too.
Yeah, Minnesota and Houston are the only two teams as of right now that are officially eliminated from
Minnesota
contention.
playing spoiler though, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what both going to be trying to do here.
They're on a 2 or 3 game winning streak right now, man. They're doing well.
We talked about Julius Randle a little bit. He's currently averaging 27 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists in the month of April. He'd be the first Knicks player to average 25, 5, and 5 in a calendar month since Bernard King in 1985.
You know what I'd be interested in though?
Apparently not.
No, Bello didn't get fucking no. How many minutes is he playing? Now that's what I'd be interested in. If they'd have him out on the field, he'd be having him on the field all game. Like he never sits ever.
The Wizards had their longest win streak since 2001.
Jesus.
When Michael Jordan was still on the team.
Jesus.
Oh my God.
Games. It was an 8-game win streak. It wasn't even like it was huge. Like huge.
It wasn't like a fucking heat streak or anything, you know?
Yeah. And Steph Curry has made the most threes in a month in NBA history.
Goddamn ball.
Another record set for the man. Another
record set. Another week. The Clippers officially signed Demarcus Cousins for the rest of the season. He was on that 10-day contract, but now Demarcus Cousins came out and said a joke about like I've got to be the first dude coming on a 10-day contract with like limited minutes that's getting double teamed. He's like, that's just weird to me. Apparently Rocket star John Wall has been sidelined for the remainder of the season due to a hamstring tweak. Wall being shut down also gives Houston opportunity to tinker with lineups for the final 11 games of the season.
Wall getting traded next year.
Yeah, he's not going to be there.
He's not going to be there next year.
He fucking got traded there, and then everybody left on him.
He's like, what the hell, man?
Try to get out of like DC, go play with you guys, and then everybody leaves me.
James Harden was like, nah.
Russell Westbrook, I know it's your favorite dude, Alex. He's 7 triple doubles away from supplanting Oscar Robinson as the triple double king.
I hope he does it.
He's on track to average a triple double for the fourth time in 5 seasons.
So he's got 11 games left, right? He can get 7 more in those 11 games. What do you think?
I think so.
No,
not till next year.
And I do have here Steph Curry. I'd mentioned him like the one record he broke. His stats this season have been better than whenever he won unanimous MVP.
Really?
He ain't even in conversation right now.
He's on my list,
and that sucks. Just because
he's on my list for MVP, but he's not 1 or 2. You know, he's not like up there. You know what I mean? So like he's just there because of what he's been doing lately. but it's not like he's gonna win. You know,
He's so crazy.
Averaging more in points, rebounds, and 3-pointers per game. He's only averaging less, like one less assist than that.
Yeah.
Season. But he's averaging more than his MVP season.
He's averaging 31.3, 5 rebounds, 5.6 rebounds, 5.8 assists right now. It's for a
5.2 3-pointers a game too.
And he's the only player
over 50% from the 3-point line.
Yeah, that's crazy. I thought that was wild though. Is like he's virtually better in every statistic than his MVP season, and he's not even really in the conversation of being
the win games.
This man got snubbed a couple MVPs too, but it's okay.
Yeah, I mean it happened.
Steve Nash.
But that's all the NBA news that I have here. I don't know if you have anything else, Vern.
I got a couple things I was just gonna roll through, and I got my MVP race as well.
Okay.
But like, what's up with the Jazz? What do you guys think? I know they did clinch a playoff berth, but like they're kind of like they're not as good as they were a couple weeks ago. They seem like they're falling apart.
Ever since that All-Star break, man, they've been up and down.
I just want to
them Suns gonna take that one seed from them.
I think they're trying to incorporate Aaron Gordon into the lineup as much as possible, and I think it's growing pains. Jazz are fine for me. Yeah, I think they're just trying to incorporate. Aaron Gordon is a future piece for them. That is one of their big three at this point.
I think you're thinking of Nuggets.
They get Aaron Gordon?
Yeah, they got Aaron Gordon.
Oh.
Yeah, they got Aaron Gordon.
What? No, right?
Yeah.
Well, I also had that the Nets have been hot lately, okay? 20-6 against the West. Just against the West. The Nets are 20-6 against the West. KD's back, but you got James Harden out. So we got, like Alex was saying, realistically, he's going to be back for the playoffs. They're looking great right now. They just need to get everybody playing together at full strength. But the West seems to be no problem for them at all. So if they can make it through the East, you got a good chance of winning that final.
Is finals win or bust for your Brooklyn Nets?
No, not at all. We have each of them on 2-more-year contract. It's not like the team disbands after this. You guys want my honest opinion, and I'll give it to you for the fucking viewers here. I don't think we win a championship this year.
You don't think so?
Nope.
I don't think you'll win a championship, period.
Well, we'll get into that. But there has only been, and I'll have an argument with this. I think we have a chance, but I don't think like we're like the surefire favorites. Our defense is not where it needs to be.
You playing Kansas City basketball, you gonna try to outscore everybody.
Yeah, there has been like in the last like 25 years, one team with a bottom 10 defense to win the championships. You know who that is, Vernon?
Lakers,
Kobe Shaq Lakers. But they turned it on during the playoffs, and they were balling during the playoffs. But regular season, they just didn't give a shit. So my hope is maybe that's the Nets. We just don't give a shit. We're like, fuck it. We're like
the best offense. Man, guys come out look like a whole different team and just start destroying everybody. Who knows? I mean, I have you guys picked to go to the finals.
Oh, I think we'll go to the finals, but I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know. We only played 7 games with our 3 superstars. Only 7, and we're 5-2 in those 7 games.
Let's see what happens, man.
That
we need to get them all healthy.
That wins the series. And here's my thing: say James Harden doesn't come back for some reason, Kyrie and Kevin Durant are good enough to win it by themselves. Like, it's not like we're not good enough without. And listen, not that James Harden isn't needed. Give me James Harden every day. But they're still balling without him. Like, it's not like we are losing without James Harden. We still have arguably the best scorer of modern NBA, and obviously the best handles of modern NBA. Like, they still get it done, man. Like, Joe Harris is one of the best 3-point shooters in NBA history. Like, field goal wise, not like he's throwing up like Steph Curry, and Steph Curry
still
is an absolute cheat code.
Milwaukee and Philly to worry about, though. I think both of those teams can give you a lot of trouble.
I think you need to worry about Philly more than Milwaukee.
See, I'm on the reverse train. I think I need to worry about Milwaukee more than Philly.
They both give you a lot of trouble, man.
Yeah.
Philly only gives us trouble because we're not big enough to play Embiid, but I don't think Embiid can play 4 games at that level. I think we can slow him down enough. They don't have any shooting to Brooklyn's averaging like 124 points a game or something. Like, it's ridiculous.
But they play defense.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. You're right. I'm not saying they're not a worry at all, but I would be more worried about Middleton heating up on the Bucks and like keeping up with us while Giannis is still doing Giannis things. That's what I would worry about.
I'm worried about every team in the West that's above us right now. The Nuggets. I'm worried about. I don't even know if they're above us right now. Anyway, but I'm worried about all Clippers, Phoenix, Utah, all of them.
I got to worry about like the Hornets.
I'm worried about Portland. Even though Portland's on a 5-game losing streak, they're still 7th in the West.
I don't know if they're going to go to the finals or anything, but I think the Heat are going to be nice in the playoffs, like they are, because they got great defense, man.
They do, but Jimmy, they don't have enough big men to do it. Again, Bam can't play every minute of the game. They don't have any big men to back him up. You know, like at least the 76ers have some big men to back up Joel Embiid. Like, they got like no big men. But Butler needs to turn on some Bubble Butler shit and be a baller if they have a chance.
That's one of his quotes he said this past week was like, I'm paraphrasing, but I think he was like, "You motherfuckers get me to the playoffs, I'll do the rest."
Yeah, give me Bubba Butler.
I was like, this dude out there promoting his coffee and stuff.
Speaking of the Nets and the Bucks just beat the Sixers twice. Getting closer to that 1 seed, and they also play the Nets twice before the end of the season. So the Bucks have a nice chance to actually put themselves in a great position to still get that 1 seed.
Yeah,
so we forgetting how good fucking Giannis is. He's having a quiet year, but that dude's still one of the best athletes in the league right now. He's amazing.
I got him number 2 in my MVP race right now, behind Jokic. Okay?
Yeah,
because Jokic is having an all-around better year, even though Giannis is averaging 28. Jokic still averaging 27 damn near. 11 and 9 actually, 8.7. But Giannis is still at 28.5, 11.4 rebounds and 6 assists a game with more than a steal a game. So that's still
the real question mark is, can they actually do something in the playoffs this year? Because that's been the story of the past couple years. It's like
they got
a great team
now too,
until they reach the playoffs, and then for some reason or another they always fall apart. I know Giannis got hurt last season in the bubble. But even when he was there, they were kind of didn't look great.
I also wanted to inform you guys, because this is the other LA team, so they don't really get talked about much, even though they got all these superstars. The Clippers are no joke this year, bro. They are balling.
Yeah.
Balling.
PG is proving everybody like wrong right now.
Nah, man, PG's got to do it in the playoffs.
Well, yeah, now he's got to do it in the playoffs.
Listen, Beverly, Kawhi, Ibaka. PG's missed time. They're missing all these people. Paul George has been averaging 30 points a game over the last 8 games. He is carrying these motherfuckers right now. Like, and it's not even like it's just him. It is the whole team. But it's just, I hate the Clippers, but like, it's
and then
nice
they went
to see
and added
them
Demarcus Cousins, and then they added Rondo for depth as well.
Mm-hmm.
Rondo's bigger. PG-13.
Rondo won a championship last year, man.
I think Rondo's the better
great role player, man.
Demarcus
Better than Demarcus?
Yeah. Better pick than Demarcus. I'd rather have Rondo on my team than Demarcus. And I don't even need another goddamn point guard. The fucking Nets have so many goddamn point guards. It's ridiculous. No, PG-13 just needs to do it in the playoffs. That's it. Just do it in the playoffs. He's always been an amazing player. He's always averaging 30 points. He's always a great defense. It's when he plays playoff games and he's got, what do you have, like an 8-point game last year? Like, man, you fucking
Pandemic Pete.
Yeah, like you can't be doing that shit.
He's at 13. Come on.
Yeah, man. Like
you gotta score at least as many as your number.
Yeah, man. Like, nah. Like you can't be doing that shit. It'd be like it's like Kevin Durant or Kyrie going out there and scoring 8 fucking points. Like that shit don't happen. Not in a playoff game, man.
Yeah.
Like you got a ball. Could you imagine the hate LeBron James would get if he went out and scored 8 points in a playoff game?
Remember finals not too long ago in 2011 against Dallas when he had like 7 points in a game. Like he did in a finals game. Yeah. And he caught so much flack for that shit, bro. It's
still
like
remember it to this day, man.
Exactly. Yeah. To your point.
Yeah,
to
man.
Your point.
You can't be doing that.
Talking about it.
Yeah, you can't be doing that.
Hasn't done it yet.
James Harden falls under the same category, though.
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, where I know you're capable of greatness. You are borderline one of the greatest shooters of all time.
Yeah.
Do it in the playoffs.
Yeah,
What's stopping? Why do you
Why
go
are
to
you
the strip
0
clubs?
and 10?
It's like
when
in the
you fuck-
playoffs, it's like they're trying too hard in the playoff. Like it's like I don't know if it's like I don't know. It's like they try to play a different game than they normal play, and it just doesn't work. Like
It's
they
like
actually try to do everything, and then it just
Peyton
doesn't.
Manning.
Yeah.
Like, why are you
But-
so good in the regular season but not greatness in the playoffs? You know, it just doesn't make sense. Like
Drew Brees and the Saints, like y'all
Drew
great
Brees
during the
and Brees.
season. But
To the James Harden thing, though, I think he has completely changed his game. His game on the Nets is much different. Not that he still doesn't score, but man, the dude was averaging like 12 assists a game. Like
now
he's
he
our point guard
has
now.
help. It doesn't
Yeah.
have to fall on his shoulders the whole time.
Yeah, it doesn't have to anymore. It's not the thing with James Harden and the Rockets. Even when Westbrook was there, and Westbrook obviously is the outlier here, but like the coaching staff said James Harden shoots the ball because after James Harden, and again minus Westbrook, the next best player is tiers below him. Not like he's a 90 and they're an 86.
Yeah.
He's a 99 and they're a 70. You know, they're like, give
Yeah.
it to James Harden. Let him throw it up a million times, even
Just
if
give
he's
it to
0
Will.
for
Who
4.
was the next best? Eric Gordon, who was on the team?
Exactly. You know,
Probably.
and Westbrook is a great player and everything, but not the type of shooter to get him out of the hole. It's different now. You got Kevin Durant. You got Kyrie Irving. Like, give it
James
to them.
Harden has a bad night. Oh well, he maybe has 6 assists and rebounds, and then you got KD and Kyrie having like 18, 20 something points. You know,
KD on his game back from his injury
he had like 30 something.
didn't miss a shot. Not one shot. He went like 15 for 15. Like ridiculous. You know. Not this current game. This current game, I think he missed like 2 or 3 shots. But when he came back from his big injury, when he was gone for like months and months and months and months, he came back and shot a perfect game. Off the bench, by the way. He came off the bench and shot a perfect game. He's just like, oh, there you go. So we'll see.
I do have a little bit of other news. It's not NBA related. Before we roll into the bias bubbles, I'm not going to go through the NHL rankings this week just because they haven't changed. So there's really go watch last week's. It's the same. It'll be the same. If you don't want to know the rankings, watch last week's episode. It'll be the same. But the big news in the NHL this week is NHL agreed to a 7-year multi-platform rights partnership with Turner Sports. And in turn, TNT will broadcast the following next 7 seasons, the Stanley Cup Final for 3 of the next seasons, half of Stanley Cup playoffs for the next 7 seasons, and every Winter Classic for the next 7 seasons.
Nice. Okay.
And the new partnership also includes live streaming and simulcast rights on HBO Max. So the NHL will be on HBO Max as well. Digital and highlight rights on Bleacher Report, and Bleacher Report digital experiences and events for the next generation of hockey fans. And man, I talked about it before where the problem with the NHL is they never marketed themselves right to be one of the top tier sports. And it's looking like they're trying their best now to kind of do that. You know, they're trying to make their the games more available to a wider range of people, maybe try to bring some new fans in.
Right.
I hope so,
That's
man.
awesome.
That's a good game. I hope they do it.
Yeah. I'm definitely more inclined to watch games that are on HBO Max, man. If I could just
Chuck, Kenny, Ernie, and
just
Shaq.
talking. They don't know anything about hockey. I would still love to hear them talk about it.
See him talking hockey on TNT.
The NHL needs to chase more of a football model for me. Like, it's not about the person. The NBA is all about the personalities, you know? Like, we love the players, you know? You love your Bryants. And not that the football doesn't have that, but not nearly to the extent that the NBA has, you know? That's why we still love Chuck and Ernie and shit, you know? Like, we love them. Like, football, they need to do better at marketing. I'm with Wyatt. Like, get out there. Make sure people can see you every game you're on, you know, like I mean,
football. This isn't the first deal they've struck. Like now they have the partnership with Turner Sports with TNT and HBO Max and stuff, but they also signed a deal with ESPN. So now ESPN is going to be getting NHL games back on there as well. So, I mean, it's looking like they're actually trying to reach a more broad audience, you know. I mean, it's about time, man. I mean, the NHL, they must be going through some hard times. They're like, we need to get some shit out here. They got the Golden Knights, the expansion team. Now they have the Kraken or whatever. It's coming out next year.
Dope.
So, I mean, that would be pretty cool, man. The only other bit of news I have here is the fight announcement. Floyd Mayweather is going to be fighting Logan Paul at the Hard Rock Stadium on June 6th. That's the only other bit of news I have here, and I'm hoping old Money Mayweather knocks his ass out.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, what do you think's gonna happen?
I know he's probably not gonna knock him out. He's gonna go the distance, I'm sure. But you know who's gonna win, baby? Old undefeated Floyd.
I hope and pray that Floyd wins this fight, but at the end of the day, just my brain wants me to see what would happen if he loses. You know what I mean?
Is
Jake
Floyd
Paul
gonna fucking tarnish his legacy fighting fucking Jake Paul?
This
Just
isn't the
imagine.
first exhibition fight that Floyd's done either. He's done exhibition fights across seas that we don't hear about because it's overseas in Japan. So like, it's not like the first time he's done that either. You know
But
what I mean?
imagine in the world of boxing, he
That's what I'm
loses
saying.
to Jake Paul right
That's
now.
what
Like,
I'm saying.
and fuck Jake
He's
Paul. I hope he gets his ass beat. I hope he
Yeah.
gets knocked out first fucking round.
It's kind of funny how he's always picking like his fights against either old heads or people that don't have much experience in boxing either.
Oh yeah,
People are acting like he's the greatest or some shit. Like, bro, fight someone in their prime right now. I want to see that happen.
Listen, I hate Logan Paul, but Logan Paul is great for the sports of boxing. This is the most boxing's been talked about in years,
Oh yeah,
dude.
I
in
mean,
years.
he's being the bad guy. He's doing what Conor McGregor does and shit, where he's
Yeah,
the bad
I know.
guy.
Fucking
Stir
man.
shit up.
I'm
I
glad
love
boxing's
Mayweather,
back in the
but
line. Oh, I love Mayweather, but man,
I want to. I'm
Even-
kind of like I just want to see a world
even if
where
it's
Jake Paul beats Floyd Mayweather. What does that world look like? It probably is
I don't
terrible.
want to be a part of that world.
listen, you could still say he's undefeated, and everybody bring up he lost to a YouTuber,
He
dude.
lost to Jake Paul.
He
He's
jumped
on
to
Disney
Jake Paul,
Channel.
a YouTuber. This dude's a fucking douchebag to the highest degree, and he lost to
He's
him.
a douchebag, a
Yeah.
professional douchebag. You're
He
a professional
basically is-
I
boxer.
hope
Yeah.
Floyd just like bow
Oh,
right.
dude, I hope it's
there,
like
bro.
a 4-hit. Pow! He
Gonna
won't. I'm
dance,
gonna Wyatt.
He'll dance and get him tired for like 6 rounds or some shit, and then gonna hit him with the Mayweather money punch, man.
Oh God, I hope so. I can't take it if Jake Paul wins.
I wouldn't be able to take it either, man.
I just like a Joker in the situation where he burns the pile of money.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I feel about it. Let's just see what happens.
Oh,
Like,
God.
I want
fire.
Mayweather to win, though. I want please Mayweather to win, but I'm like half of me's like, let's see what happens if Jake Paul wins. But
That's the only other bit of like big news that I have, other than whatever I saved here for the bias bubble, of course. So I mean, we can just hop right in here. Alex, as the guest of honor for the bias bubble, you can talk about any news within any of your teams, man.
what you got?
I feel like I use my exercise my bias bubble throughout the show. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Fair enough. That's fair enough.
So I don't have much, man. I do think
a couple things usually for the bias bubble.
I know you do. I know how the format works. I watch it, but I just can't keep my mouth shut, man. ain't all
I know.
about the news.
We're getting better at it. We're better at it now on episode 39 than we were on episode 12. But
I
like
can't.
it's hard.
I can't, man. So I don't really got a bias bubble. Go Nets. I think you want some wild shit for your thing.
Yeah.
I think we got 11 games left. I say we lose 2 of them. That's it. 2
so
games.
you think you go 9-2?
If we have 11 games, I think we have 11 games.
The last 11.
Yeah, 9-2 in
Okay.
the last 11.
Let's go 9-2. Last
Yeah.
11.
There's my
All right.
thing.
We'll have to check out here after the 11 games.
All right, I'll get back to you on that.
Another bold ass prediction. I think, and I already kind of talked about it, I think Dwayne Haskins is a fine quarterback. I think he just needs some time. That's my. I think Dwayne Haskins.
I don't know if that's a good thing or bad. Like he's a fine quarter, but he's all right.
Buckeyes, baby. I'm always going to support Dwayne Haskins. Let's go.
Here's my prediction with Dwayne Haskins. Dwayne Haskins plays for the Steelers for the next 2 years. At the end of the second year, we cut him, and he starts for another team. I don't know if he ever starts the Steelers, but he starts for another team. After the Steelers, wherever he goes next, he starts.
Okay.
That's my bold prediction on Dwayne Haskins.
That's a
Interesting.
prediction for too far in the future, so
Yeah.
I'm not going to write that on the board. I did write that you're going 9-2 over the last 11.
You just have a post-it note there for the next 2 years waiting.
Like I move or some shit, and I gotta take the post-it notes. We're like, this one, we can't get rid of this one yet.
Well, it's on the
Okay.
internet, man. So now it's on the internet. It's never gone.
Exactly.
I'll come back to this episode.
I'm gonna put it in the tags. Alex's post-it note. So like we'll just have to type it in Google and this will pop up. That's how the internet works. But anyway, I already went over a lot of my Patriot stuff for my bubble. Because we were talking about draft and stuff like that. Pretty much my wish list was a great quarterback in the first round. Not a great, but like a quarterback in the first round if you can. If not, great wide receiver. If not, if we don't even trade up, offensive tackle. You know, that's a great solid position pick there.
Yeah.
Lakers. Okay. 36-25. Okay. We only lost 19 games last year. And it's just like already, you know, I just realized that. Like I looked at the standings the other day and I'm like, oh my God. It's just because it was the first time I saw last year's record. But 36-25 right now. Chilling in I think fifth in the West.
Yeah.
Fifth in the West. 8-19 since LeBron James has been out. Okay. It's
and
that
Anthony Davis was out for most of those games as well.
He was, but he also did return, and we've gone 1-2 since he's returned, since Anthony Davis is back. But he's kind of not. He's not playing full minutes. He's trying to really reconcile with teammates and stuff.
Yeah, they don't want to make get him hurt again. They want to ease him back in.
Right. I'm more worried about slipping to a play-in position, but hopefully that doesn't happen. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Otherwise, or elsewhere in Lakers news, there was Jeannie Buss in an interview the other day where she kind of talked about a couple things. The one, she announced that there's a 9-part documentary on the Lakers coming out.
Damn.
Apparently, there's one, it's like 42 years of the Buss family. That's what it's going to be focused on.
That'll be interesting.
There's one coming, because she even mentioned there's one coming out in HBO that's being produced and stuff, but like she made a point to say they have no connection with that one, and she's interested to see how they tell a story without any involvement. So I'm interested to see what that one's all about. Like, what it, you know, if it's like
a documentary with no connection. You know?
Yeah,
right. But they're making their own apparently. But she announced that, and then it's
cool.
covering the Lakers for the last 42 years, man. But
we'll have to merge the review show with Squad Pod Sports to do a review of the Lakers 9-part series. Yeah, crossover.
Right, straight up. She also revealed that Shaq wanted way too much money. That's what the real problem was with the breakup in 2004. He wanted way too much money. It wasn't necessarily the whole problem. And Kobe, that was a factor, I guess. You know, as much as any time you have turmoil between teammates is.
Yeah.
But apparently he asked Jerry Buss for the bag. Like he like max money you can get legally under the CBA at the time.
Jesus.
And Jerry Buss was not. He was just like
we can't do that, man.
Dr. Buss, the Jerry Buss, Dr. Buss. But anyway, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. I was like, damn. So
it's crazy.
I wonder what he got. Like I know you could probably look it up, but like I'm interested. I didn't look it up. I should have. I wonder what Miami paid him. You know,
yeah, that was my first thought whenever you said that. Is like, did he make that money wherever he went next?
Right, like, did he get what he wanted, or what did they pay? But I do forget about that. But that's all the Lakers news I had here.
Okay, I did have a bit of Patriot news I shared for your bias bubble as well, because I usually try to do that. The Patriots are one of several teams that have been making calls about getting into the top 10 with their eyes on Justin Fields.
Mm-hmm. I really hope so.
And apparently, as part of trading up, they've been trying to involve Stephon Gilmore in the trade talks to get up into the top 10.
Unfortunately, it's probably going to have to happen. That's going to be something that has to be a casualty of getting into the top 10. So if it has to happen, it has to happen, man.
Yeah, I mean, as far as my teams, I'm not talking about the Flyers anymore because their season's done. So the Bulls, Zach LaVine's been out. I think he's already missed 7 games. It's looking like he's going to miss another week because he's in quarantine as of right now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, our hopes of making even the play-in tournament is just not looking good right now. I mean, we did just beat the Heat. Our next string of games are within, like, the top, like, 8 seeds of the East. So, right. I mean, it's not going to be an easy going trip if we want to try to make it into that play.
It'd be impressive though if you pull it off.
We are only 1 game out of the play-in tournament. We're 1 game behind Washington, but man, without LaVine, I just don't see it happening as of right now.
Right, I completely understand.
But as far as Eagles news, apparently Brandon Brooks is available to be traded. That's a bit of news. So they're possibly looking to move on from Brandon Brooks. He just has an issue staying healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently Zach Ertz is going to be traded by the end of the draft.
They said it.
Yeah. I mean, the Eagles didn't say it, but all the reports are saying Zach Ertz will be gone by the end of the draft. And they're saying that's whether he's going to be in part of a trade that moves him up in the draft or what. It seems like he's going to be gone during the draft at some point.
So he'll have a new home tomorrow.
Yep, possibly. And apparently, as of today, the Eagles are locked in and focused on Devontae Smith. So who knows what's going on there, if they can move up. But that's the last bit of news I had, is apparently Devontae Smith and J.C. Horn are really who they're looking at right now.
Right.
As well as draft picks.
Okay. Let's see how the pieces fall, man.
Exactly. I don't know, man. I'm still half expecting Howie to just pick some weird pick that some dude I never heard of or whatever. Just thinks he's smart. He thinks he's smarter than all the other GMs.
Why shouldn't I?
You idiot.
Take a quarterback again.
Bro, I'm not even ruling that out either. And I'm going to be so pissed off. I'm going to be so mad if that happens.
Eagles selected Justin Fields. What? You got two of the same players? You just
pretty much have twin quarterbacks, huh? So that's what
can't play them both, Howie.
Why can't I?
You ruined a starting quarterback. That's what happened.
By the way, Shaq to Miami, 5 years, $100 million.
And numbers were a lot different back then.
Yeah,
so
sure. It was
inflation. There's probably a pretty penny for that shit, you know. Like,
did you see that deal that Shaq just made with Miami?
I read a little bit into it. He could have took a higher offer for less years, but he took the longer years for less money. But it's still a ton of money.
Yeah,
it equaled a chip, so I'm sure he's happy.
Exactly.
So I mean, that's all that I have. So there's only one thing left to do, boys, and that's the crazy sports stat fact of the podcast. I do have a bunch of them here.
Oh shit!
Joe DiMaggio had more home runs than strikeouts 7 times and did it in 5 consecutive seasons.
Damn, that will never happen again. They have strikeouts like crazy nowadays because it's all about just swinging for the fence, right? You know what I mean? Like that's crazy.
Yeah, man. More home runs than strikeouts 7 times, 5 seasons in a row. Like, damn. That is wild, man. Yeah, I mean, you made a good point, though. I don't know if we ever going to see that again.
That's probably never going to happen again because motherfuckers be racking up the strikeouts nowadays because there's no punishment for it. It's not like it's necessarily a bad thing anymore.
Yeah.
They want you to swing.
There are players, Aaron Judge, that it's boom or bust,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
It's home run or nothing, basically.
Swing for the fences, boys.
Swing. I go out of the park.
Yeah.
Or even on some Moneyball shit. Like, if you hit the ball, just swing. You know what I mean? Like, hit the ball and play. Regardless.
Yeah.
What's your OBS? What's your on base percentage? But that's very interesting.
That is, man. Want to thank Alex. Thank you for stopping by this week, man. We really appreciate it.
Hey, sorry I took up all your time with all my ranting.
No, man, good. We hope to have you back here again here soon, especially leading up to the football season. If not, whenever the football season starts, But everybody, make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to go follow TapThat Reviews.
Yep.
I know you're working on some videos, Alex.
We'll be out.
And make sure to check out our draft special here on Thursday night. Alex will be a part of it as well. We're trying to work out something with each of our streams. So that
at the very least, I will be on your stream if that's how it's got to be.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, either way, it's looking like we'll be involved.
We'll get it done.
Yeah.
Hey.
Evan knows we'll get it done.
Special guest. That's some after credit. That's mid credit.
Hidden guest.
Man.
That's a mid credit post right there.
You messed up our outro.
But that's the end of the show. Thank you, Alex, for coming by. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see everybody next week.
Peace.